So, I saw Christy Nolan's new movie and something was off, dude. Trust me when I tell you I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. Most of what I did in school was talk about scenes from movies like Prestige or Memento, and of course Inception. The only time I bunked from school was to go see Interstellar, which I was already seeing for the second time. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the most happening school life, but it was so much fun. Talking about that no gravity fight scene in Inception, or the moment in Prestige where it turns out they're twins, or even that Tesseract scene from Interstellar. I've seen all these films a minimum of 3 times. Even that number is keeping it low to make it seem like I'm a normal, functioning human being. I keep going back to scratch out new details, even a few frames, and it feels great. I feel like I understood the story more, and it makes me want to watch the whole movie over and over again. So, why is it that what could be called Nolan's biggest film, and also his most complicated, doesn't really make me feel like that?
Time travel.
No.
Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Or. Well, I've seen too much. Well, we'll try and keep up.
Tenet is the story of the protagonist, they actually call him that in the movie, who has to stop the people of the future from destroying the past. They're going to do this with the help of a technology that can reverse the flow of time for objects or for people. The protagonist follows leads after leads until he gets to the final stage and, well, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. As expected, there's a lot of whoa moments in the movie, most of which you'll see coming. I think that's because of the trailer. Even though a lot of scenes were an absolute delight to watch, not a lot of it was surprising. Oh wow, are they gonna crash the plane now? Okay, just like we saw in the trailer. Oh, is he fighting the inverted man? Nice. Like I saw in the trailer. Is it time for the inverted car chase scene? Nice. I had seen this in the trailer. Now, I was going to complain about this and say that you should not put the best action scenes in the trailer, that you should show as little as possible so that we don't see it coming in the movie. But then I saw the Inception trailer and they put a lot of great scenes in there. So was I wrong to not feel exhilarated watching the movie? Why did everything seem so bland? All those moments just like good animations without any meaning. All the science just to appease the audience who understood the physics lingo. Yeah, positrons are a real thing. I read that in a book. I think the problem is with this guy, the protagonist. To understand the problem here, let's revisit some of the greatest protagonists in Nolan's movies. There's Robert in The Prestige, there's Cobb in Inception, and of course there's Cooper from Interstellar. If I described their stories the way I did for the protagonist in Tenet, I would say Cobb has to infiltrate the mind of a person, Cooper has to find an alternate planet for humanity, and Robert has to find out how to do the duplication trick. Except, that's not really the story, is it? You're not going to cry because humanity doesn't get an alternate planet. You cry thinking about Cooper and his daughter. The story of Inception is not Cobb getting into Fisher's mind or planting the idea. The story is Cobb getting back to his kids. The story of Prestige is not how he duplicates himself. It's how much he wants to be greater than the other guy.
It was the greatest magic trick I've ever seen. I need to know how he does it.
Because the story has to do with what the character needs. And it is with that need that we resonate. Mission Impossible Fallout does this greatly. Because the threat of a bomb going off or a civil war starting is not enough. You need the threat that the woman he loves is also going to die. Would the action have changed even a little bit if his ex-wife wasn't involved? Not at all. But would it have felt the same? No. There is no personal stake for the protagonist in Tenet. All he is a very capable and loyal CIA agent. Replace him with any other guy who has the skills of being a good agent, and the movie remains the same. This is also the reason you feel so little for whatever is happening in the story. It's just science followed by action, followed by even more science, followed by even more action. You hardly get to empathize with anyone or worry about anything. You're just left with the cool visuals. When we have personal stake, it also makes for a more formidable conflict. When you've got your skin in the game, you've got a weakness that can be exploited, and the audience then gets to root for the protagonist. What would Inception have been like if there was no mall? Once you've decoded all the layers of dreams and all that other mind-bending stuff, there would have remained no strong emotional core for the movie. It is because Maul fucks shit up that the movie is as good as it is. If Cobb had just been a rad bro perfectly executing everything with nothing holding him back, the movie would not have felt the way it did. The only thing holding the protagonist up is the actor's raw charm. He's given moments to be funny and strong with good confident lines, But I don't think it's enough. Yes, when you really have to think about it, you can maybe find elements that have the potential to be an emotional aspect in the movie. The protagonist's loyal to death nature could have been expanded upon. He and Kat could have developed a stronger relationship, which would have made the motivations for a lot of his actions more convincing. The only thing that has a hint of humanity in the entire story is Kat and her son. You know, her son, who we see for like 3 seconds in the entire movie. I don't care about your son, he's not Murph. Look, there's two ways to watch a Nolan movie. Either you're going for the set pieces that you admire and the confusing plots that you need to decode. You then see the story as kind of an addition, a treat along with your sci-fi fantasy. It is a rewarding experience when you see a movie where the science is so accurate and the story is also good. That's one way to think about it. Or you're going for a great story in which the science is a treat. I don't think of the climax in Interstellar as a great visualization of a tesseract in which a sprinkle of emotion is thrown for the dum-dums who don't get the signs.
In this case, not all the lines appear equal. Not all the angles are right angles. The three-dimensional object has not been perfectly represented in its projection in 2 dimensions, but that's part of the cost of losing a dimension in the projection. And I can't show you what direction that is, but imagine that there is a 4th physical dimension. In that case, we would generate a 4-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions. But what I can show you is the shadow in 3 dimensions of a 4-dimensional hypercube or tesseract. This is it.
I think of it as a deeply touching moment between a father and a daughter, and it's made to feel even more epic because of the unimaginable setting.
You've seen that time is represented here as a physical dimension.
Make him stay, Merv. Don't let me leave, Merv. Don't let me leave, Merv.
Yes, I am going to rewatch this entire movie a dozen times, trying to figure out how Sator interrogated him, how certain scenes happened, why it happened, all the nitty-gritty details that one has to discover in a Nolan film, just like the old days. But you know what? I think this film has made me realize something else. That a movie is not a masterpiece because it has scenes in which buildings turn on itself, but because it tells the story of a man dealing with the unshakable feeling that he killed his wife.
What do you feel?
Guilt. I feel guilt, Mom. And no matter what I do, no matter how hopeless I am, no matter how confused, that guilt is always there, reminding me of the truth.
That a movie hits me so deep, not because it's told in reverse, but because it shows a man who's willing to kill and lie just to feel a sense of purpose in his life.
His condition. The condition that... Don't believe his lies.
I want my life back!
Why are you asking me? I can't remember what I've done.
In summary, if you are a Christopher Nolan fan, you know you owe it to yourself to go watch this movie. Just don't expect it to be as good as Interstellar or Dunkirk. Alright, so that was my review of Tenet. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share it, and subscribe to the channel if you want more reviews like this. Follow me on Instagram, the link is in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.